A new SRB2 Direct recently dropped, and considering that my entire channel has seemingly ended up being almost entirely based off this one game, I feel like I should probably give my thoughts and impressions on the new mods revealed. I may have missed the last one, but just forget about that one. There's 20 minutes of trailers to get through, and I'll try and give a fair coverage to every mod unveiled, basically just saying what I think of the mod based off what they show here. So, let us begin! The first mod of the showcase is Red Eagle 64's DG Carrot, a mod based off the main character of the 2000s anime series of the same name. I haven't watched it. Based off just this trailer though, I don't think I would want to, because I already can't stand them. The supposedly cute noises he makes, and the background music, and her general appearance, is just not something I find particularly appealing. But the moveset seems at least a little less annoying, with most of the trailer showcasing how her dive ability can be chained together with her wall jumping to give herself a lot of aerial mobility. She also seems to jump higher than most characters, and has a roll, although you never see her use a spin dash. Entirely guessing here, but I assume her spin can only be used while moving because pressing spin while stationary will fire out this laser. Yeah, the character's eye lasers for some reason. The trailer ends with her using a flip phone, which I assume will presumably be an idle or taunt animation. I'm not going to play her. I wouldn't be able to take the constant catgirl sound effects and that jump sound effect, but if you could, Carrot seems like she could be fun. They simply have a coming soon release date. After the last time I did one of these videos was for a direct that had nearly every single trailer end with a when it's done release date, I know it must have been a difficult choice to avoid using that term. Then comes a new SRB2 Persona update from Spectra, Xena the Witch, Hazimi, Nerdu, and Woodman, named SRB2 Persona by Honest Fields. Having not played SRB2P before, I don't really know what's been changed. From what I can tell, SRB2P seems to have a bunch of different modes, but no story and only ever in one location, so this mod adds a story, as well as new locales to battle in. From what I can tell based off these clips, the actual overworld and battle experience remains mostly unchanged, although there are now new personas to mess around with some even having new attacks and affinities, which I will assume just means elemental alignment. Most interesting to me, however, is how there's support for modded characters to each have their own unique custom attacks. I don't know whether vanilla SRB2P allows for this, I don't know how far you'll be able to push it, but it's cool to imagine what talented creators might make. I haven't played SRB2P yet because I was told it mainly revolves around multiplayer content, but this might make me try it out. Then comes a character from the Angry John of SRB2 Brazil. Praise should be given to my self-control, not putting any "you're going to Brazil" jokes here. This is Defex the Direwolf, who is seemingly a bit of an ice-based bruiser character, introduced throwing Knuckles off a cliff. He seems pretty mobile, being able to swim, run over the surface of water, and seemingly having a sort of dash mode, but the ability that gets the most focus is his ground pound. It performs all the things you'd expect of one, empower springs, break floors, etc., but also releases ice spikes when powered up by this ice sealed thing. It looks like it appears when you travel at top speed for long enough, so dash mode might actually just be this beginning to appear, and obviously protects you from taking damage and powers up your abilities. It disappears upon taking damage, but it looks like it might also have some sort of time limit, as Defex does his ground pound ability with ice spikes at one point, only to exit without the sealed. The character should already be out, although I won't be getting to them for a while because I've built an embarrassingly long backlog of other mods and videos ideas first. Next up is Reven, revealing a mod. It's called the Compendium, which, according to the Oxford English Dictionary, means either a collection of concise but detailed information about a particular subject, especially in a book or other publication, or a collection or set of similar items. This is almost certainly not either of those, seemingly being a level or level pack, but not one that gives any clues to what the title means. The only thing I can really make out is how there are some different coloured rings in some areas, but that could just as easily be because of lighting problems, like the blue ring in Deep Sea Zone. It'll come out when it's done, but I can't really say any thoughts about it when there's barely anything to give thoughts on. It looks nice, I guess? Another SRB2P mod next, this time by Zen's159. With a much catchier tune than by Honest Fields, It seems to be some sort of story-driven boss rush against Sonic's friends, who are very excited to kill him for some reason. New moves and new bosses, but most impressively, actual cutscenes. No more of this still image matched to a criminally slow text, actual in-game cutscenes. Very impressive, as well as a post-game bonus stage, which very excitingly has grass. SRB2P Blue Mist story is coming soon, and will be another mod I intend to cover. John, Goma the Mascar, Super Fanto, and Inazuma then reveal a remake of Tortured Planet, which got a lot of people in the live chat seemingly very excited. Apparently, it's version 2.0's most complete level pack, and is apparently about stopping Dr. Eggman's alien domination schemes. A unique plot, to be sure. I've never played this. I'm sure any level pack can claim to be fairly complete after reaching version 11, but from these snippets, there seems to be some interesting level design here. I particularly like the shrinking down to better explore vent sections. There's also one new audio track by the original composer of the pack, and it's already out if you want to try it. We've now covered the first half of the Direct, so we're really running out of time for one developer's essentially guaranteed appearance. I'm talking about Fav, who basically almost always has some form of new update to his Fav Cars pack, usually just moveset changes and tweaks. This time though, we get a whole new third character. This is Huggert, a very sleepy little thing. We don't actually get to see all that much about him, other than some sort of cloud-based ability and the fact he can hug other characters by pressing custom 2 next to them. He'll come out eventually. There's not even a customary coming soon or when it's done, so you know they're a long way away. But there's currently very little to show, so it will likely be a fair while. Then comes a character I actually already knew about, as the creator Frostykin reached out to discuss potentially previewing the character early. Between the fact that GIFs were already released on the SRB2 Discord, and they now have an SRB2 Direct trailer, I'm hardly unique in knowing about them, but they're definitely one of the mods that most piqued my interest. This is, pardon my pronunciation, AlphaLin, who many of you will know from Kirby in the Forgotten Land, and I know from this video.
A dubious little creature getting up to mischief. This is no good. Oh, the beast is demonic in nature. Very icky, no good.
Apparently, this is the one time in the Kirby series where the cute sidekick is actually an incomprehensible Eldritch Abomination trope is actually subverted, so the video's a little outdated now. They're clearly an extremely agile character, with some form of mid-air jump, dive, glide, fly thing going on, but probably the biggest ability is their teleport. You can throw out a ball of energy that ruptures into this star, and can then seemingly hold the ability until needed, at which point you travel to the point the orb stopped. He also has a spear attack that allows you to destroy enemies from above, although he seems just as confused as the audience likely is about how he conjured it up. Finally, in order to ensure he stays off the ground as much as possible, he has some sort of bounce mechanic upon hitting the floor, where he ends up launching higher than he was before. Also, when playing multiplayer, he has a mechanic where he can attach to another player, granting access to buffs such as speed sneakers, invincibility, and a huge vertical boost. They're coming soon, but there's one more slight tease before Frostykin's segment ends, a silhouette of the Freedom Planet character Lilac. They shared an image on my Discord server, and it looks really good. Special mention to Ski Master 10, responsible for the gorgeous sprites. And for the final trailer of the day, we have a new character from Dr. Steven. I don't know all that much about the story cooked up for these characters, but from the introductory sequence of the trailer, I assume this guy isn't the friendliest. This is Cow, a brawler wolf with an accent pose for seemingly every occasion. He throws punches, tears through enemies, unleashes shockwaves through his ground pounds, and clambers up walls by just tearing into them. The trailer moves too fast and throws too many abilities for me to really get a great bead on the intricacies of everything, but based off how Skip and Jaina play, I'm sure we can safely assume from just this footage Cow has plenty of speedrunning potential in them. The trailer ends by confirming, yes, Cow is an asshole, laughing over the knocked out Skip and Jaina, before panning through the ground to a glowing crystal, which starts to crack as someone breaks loose. I don't actually have any idea who this is, please enlighten me. But with the Direct concluded, what did I think? Well, It was certainly a strong one, although, considering this is an entirely amateur group of developers, it continues the trend of absolutely never revealing an actual release date for anyone. I'd say it was a little bit heavy on the OC side of things over the number of established characters, or at least major ones like Blaze, Bowser or Mario. There were also far less meme or joke characters unveiled, which seems to be generally taken as a good thing while scouring the comments, although there seems to be a ton of people who wanted or expected a Peppino mod. I'm probably most excited for Cow, AlphaLin and the SRB2 mods, but I have plenty of other characters lined up before then. I've said I'll cover Team New multiple times on my Discord, and people want me to cover Samus, so it'll probably be a while before I get to even the characters who are already released. I hope you enjoyed the video though, and ciao.
Come to Brazil, please? No. Come to Brazil, please? No. Come to Brazil, please? No.
You're going to Brazil!